Welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video we're doing another episode of the League 2 Roundup. There's been some more news coming out of League 2 clubs over the last week, another managerial appointment at one of the League 2 sides and some more transfers filtering through many clubs, and also a couple of transfer rumours going around. So yeah, let's get into it and round up all the action. Starting off with that managerial appointment news, Morecambe have announced the appointment of Derek Adams as their new manager. I say their new manager, he has been there 3 times now. This will be his third stint at the Shrimps, and I think it's one that comes to the club with steady hands. He knows the club inside out, and I think it's one Morecambe can rely on. He's had a couple of really good spells there. He obviously won promotion with the Shrimps through the playoffs in one of the seasons. And obviously he was at the club last season but left for Ross County to have his third stint with the Scottish club. Didn't work out for him there, I think he only lasted 12 matches. So he's going to come back to Morecambe, try and move the club forward, and I think it's a steady appointment for Morecambe. One, brings experience to the club. Going on to some more transfer news now. Doncaster announced the signing of Harry Clifton from fellow League 2 side Grimsby Town. I like this signing, another similar signing to the another one, that he brings a lot of energy to his game. The season before the last one, the 2022-23 season, 9 goals, 5 assists for Grimsby and 8 goal contributions last season. A consistent performer for the Mariners, and I feel like it was probably time for him to move on for his personal career. Doncaster more than likely going to be pushing up the league next season, so it's a good move for him in his career to play under a good manager like Graham McCann. Versatile player as well, can play off the wing if he needed to, but more of a midfield player. So yeah, really like that signing from Doncaster. Gillingham have also added to their attacking ranks, announcing the signing of Jack Nolan from Accrington Stanley for an undisclosed fee, and Aaron Rowe from Huddersfield on a free transfer. Let's start off with Nolan. I think this is a brilliant bit of business. 23 years old. I think he was out of contract, but because he's under 20, because he's 23 and under, you have to pay a compensation package for him, and I think it's worth it. 17 goals last season for Accrington, had a really good season, and ever since when he joined my side Walsall, you could tell he was raw, needed that game time, and he's gone to Accrington. Fair play to him. He's had that consistent game time and he's grown as a player. Really good technical winger. He can get past players, and when he gets going, I think he's a really good player, and I think he will be for Gillingham. Really good signing. Likewise with Aaron Rowe, really like this signing as well. Was on loan at Crewe Alexandra last season. Obviously they got to the playoff final. Was really impressed with him, especially in that second leg game against Doncaster in the playoff semi-final. I thought his movement was outstanding. He was never still, was always on the move, creating space for him and his other players, opening some really good gaps up for Crewe to create some good attacking opportunities, especially in that first half. And he had a decent season for Crewe on loan, and I think they'll be a little bit disappointed they couldn't get him back on a free transfer, but it's a real good coup for Gillingham, that, and 2 real good signings. Another club that announced a double signing was Salford City, announcing the signing of Dan Chesters from West Ham United on a free transfer. And Carl Stockton has joined the club. The experienced striker joins from Burton on a free transfer as well. Let's start off with Dan Chesters. Was on loan in the second half of last season at Salford and showed glimpses of quality in that spell. I think he's a good, tricky player, and I think it's time now. Obviously, he's had a few seasons at West Ham as a professional, but playing in their Premier League too. It's a little bit different. That youth game to the men's game, and I think under Carl Robinson, hopefully he coaches him into a good player, because I think he's got the potential to be a good player for Salford. Similar type of player at times to Luke Bolton. And Cole Stockton, I think this is a real good signing. Good replacement for Matt Smith. I think a little bit different. I think Matt Smith was a little bit more better aerially, but I think it'll suit Carl Robinson's signing this. I think he's technically brilliant. If you look at some of his goals throughout his career, scored some absolute, screamers in his time, and I think he had a good spell last season in the second half of last season with Barrow on loan I think that'll be disappointing they couldn't get him back on a free transfer, but it's a real good signing for Salford. He guarantees, 10 to 20 goals next season if Salford are really pushing up the league. Barrow announced a signing this week, signing Katia Kiarte on a 3-year deal from Everton, where he's recently just left the club. 20 years old. To sign in Barrow do like to sign up and coming youth talents. We've seen that through the last couple of seasons on free transfers. They look to try and develop them, and it could be the same with Kiarte. I don't know too much about the player, but some of the goals I've seen on his highlights looks like some real good goals. Got a good variety of goals he scored, and he can play across the front three, so it offers you some real good versatility there. Tranmere have added some experience into their midfield, signing Sam Finley on a free transfer from Bristol Rovers. Really impressed with his signing, 31 years old, but he's going to bring that bite and that experience, like I said, to Tranmere's midfield. Playing alongside Brad Walker or Regan Hendry in the midfield, or he could provide some real good experience as a backup. I think they've got some real good options now. Tranmere in that midfield department, they like to play a 4-4-2 formation under Nigel Atkins, and I think they've got some real good variety there now in the midfield. I think this one will be a blow for recently promoted Crawley Town that had looked to try and sign this man back. Lawrence Maguire has signed for MK Dons on a free transfer. I think that'll be a little bit gutted. Obviously spent last season on loan from Chesterfield at Crawley and was a real big part of their success of getting promoted to League One. And obviously he was part of the side that absolutely demolished MK Dons in the playoff semi-final. And I think what I saw of him, I thought he looked like a real composed defender. He's really good distributing the ball out. Will suit MK Dons' system in that aspect. And yeah, obviously, like I've mentioned in a few of my videos, MK Dons really need to recruit in the defensive department. They've already have Luke Offord has joined last week and announcing Maguire this week, showing some real signs of improvement in defence there. And I think signing of the week, if we move on to another transfer, Dunley has signed for Chesterfield on a free transfer, and he's dropped down a league after leaving Shrewsbury Town. What a signing this is for Chesterfield. He's worked under Paul Cook before, obviously knows his qualities, and he's not shown any sign of slowing up now really. He's 32 years old but played 45 out of Shrewsbury's 46 games last season, was a key part of their defence that managed to stay up in the end. And like I said, he's 32 years old, so he'll bring that experience to the back line which is needed for Chesterfield next season. They leaked too many goals at times last season, even though they had a really good campaign. Like I said, with him working with Paul Cook, I think this one's going to be a really good sign for Chesterfield. One they can get the best out of. Not many transfer rumours in League 2 this week, but the only one I could find was Jose Longolo could be on the move from Accrington Stanley. According to reports, there is interest from League 1 and League 2 sides to try and secure the signature of the 24-year-old. And I think this one could be a big blow for Accrington. He's had a couple good seasons there, showing a real good talent. Can play as a left back, a left winger, and offers you some real good threatening attacking attributes down the left hand side. And one, Accrington can't really stop if a good offer comes in. They need the finances, and what Accrington do quite well over the years, that's why they managed to stay in League 1, is get the big fees for these players and then try and recruit similar attributes to the players that they've lost, and they've had success with it over the years. And they've got a good youth academy coming up at Accrington, so it'll be a big loss, but one they can reinvest going forward. So there you have it. I've rounded up all things League 2 news this week. Another managerial appointment. Let me know your thoughts on Derek Adams returning to Morecambe. Various transfers coming up through the week as well. Let me know your opinion on the best signing this week. And I'm expecting some very busy weeks coming up in League 2 over the next few weeks. We're getting close to pre-season now, so it's going to get busy now, and expect a hectic couple of weeks incoming. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.